is WTF Nation Radio.
You need to shut the fuck up.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is The Green Room on WTF Nation Radio. I am your host, Jason, and I am joined by the lovely face of radio, Charlie. How you doing, brother?
Doing well. Glad to have you back, man.
Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, man. I had to take a little sabbatical last weekend. Went on a family vacation with all of my babies. And had a fucking awesome time. Guys, I hate that I wasn't able to be on the whole show, but I'm glad I got to call in and talk with a little bit.
Yeah, it was fun, man. You got to take care of them children. Your children.
Oh, yeah, man.
We're joined with one of our new on-air talents. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, bro?
What's up? I'm KJ, newest meat to the grinder. How's everyone doing tonight? Glad to hear you got to go on vacation, brother.
He said meat. Hell yeah, man. I had a blast, dude. So KJ, man, tell us a little bit about yourself, man. So past, present, and what you got going on, brother?
Well, my parents told me I was found under a rock. Was in the Army, 14 to 15, infantry. And currently I'm slaving to transport people around the Nashville area. And just thrilled to be on here. And can't wait to do more.
Yeah, man. Well, welcome to the fucking team and welcome to the Green Room.
Yep.
Now, we encourage everybody to imbibe if they have that DD-214 in hand. Otherwise, you're just going to have to sit back, relax, and enjoy the contact. So, man, so I just tell you and first-time listeners, man, our show, we go through the current events, and we talk about what's going on with the cannabis industry and what's going on with cannabis news in general. And we try to teach everybody a little something. Our mission is to educate those that wish to look for an alternate to the VA Skittles. Our wish is to educate those and lead them in a direction where they may be able to find this holistic cure. I don't want to call it cure, but holistic treatment.
Well, you wouldn't be too far off the truth calling it a cure.
Right. For many things, it actually is, man. Epilepsy, fucking some cancers. Shit, it'll fucking eat some cancers alive. Say, fuck you, cancer.
Yeah, it slows down the not reanimation, but the progression of a lot of types of cancers.
Yeah, man. So that's our mission, and that's what we're here for. And we also want to talk about current events in the military around the world, and just have a good fucking time, man. We're probably one of the most laid back shows on the station.
The most, yeah. hands down, the most laid back show.
Sweet. Let me get comfy.
Yeah, put your shirt back on.
Yeah, we're gonna need that back on. All right, man.
We're glad to have you part of the team, man.
Yeah,
it's pretty awesome having another grunt running around.
Oh yeah.
I got two queens on the show now.
Well, the king can only put it where the queen tells him to.
This is true. I give you that. Well, hell yeah, man. We got a pretty good fucking show going on. There's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot going on all over the fucking place.
There really is.
Dude, so I mean, honestly, you must be living under a rock if you don't know this, but North Korea fired another missile just on Friday. They tested an fuck, I fucked this word up.
Intercontinental.
Yeah, right.
Intercontinental ballistic
Intercontinental.
missile.
See, you fucked it up too. An
Well,
intercontinental
I'm looking at
ballistic
you,
missile.
bro. I'm looking at you. You look Asian. For those of you guys who are just joining us in the audience, we usually see each other. Well, tonight it's three of us on Skype, and we have the cam. It helps with timing. But
Yeah, we don't like to step on
Jason
stuff.
looks Asian. Like he really looks Asian.
You could definitely blindfold me with some dental floss right now.
Hello.
Hello.
Speaking of Asian,
Yeah, right. North Korea.
Yeah.
All right. So they tested an ICBM on Friday. That appears to have the range to hit major U.S. cities, experts say, and prompted a fresh round of condemnation from the United States, China, Japan, and South Korea. A combination of the U.S., South Korean, and Japanese analyses of the launch from Mupyeongni near North Korea's border with China shows the missile flew about 45 minutes, going 3,700 kilometers. In American, that's 2,300 miles high, and for a distance of 1,000 kilometers high. And again, in American, that's 621 miles. Now, that flight path took it 5 minutes longer, and they suggest that if it took a flat line path, right, if they had flattened that trajectory out to where it could get its full potential, it could go up and down and hit cities as far away as Chicago.
yeah, I'm not sweating it though. Thad's already, it's already batting 1,000 at missile intercepts.
All
in
right,
training,
yes.
in training, but
How many of those missiles? All of those were missiles that were fired that were more like Scud missiles. A lot of the analysis that they've got going on is showing that the THAAD wouldn't be too terribly effective against a missile that is coming from the
Space.
atmosphere. Yeah,
well, the last shoot down they had was an ICBM.
right.
About a week ago, they shot an ICBM coming out of the atmosphere.
Right. No. I'm tracking that they had that test and everything. I'm saying that based on a lot of data. So they've done this test multiple times, and they don't have the same track record with the ICBM type missiles.
Yeah.
I'm just
Well-
saying it's not as. I mean, it's pretty fucking eerie. It's not as reliable as they advertise. And they're ramping up a lot of technology right now to try and get it to be where it needs to be.
Yeah. Well,
It ties right into the. I mean, they launched a missile, they test it, everyone goes on alert. Now China, I was talking about Thursday. China put troops on the border of North Korea, and now it's everyone. It's Cold War 2.0. This time North
Right.
Korea, Iran. It's
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
even put up nuclear blast shields along a lot of that border.
a lot of that border is rural farmland, so if they could try to protect from any type of the physical blast or anything like that. But I think the main reason, I had read somewhere, the main reason China was doing that was to stem the possible refugee crisis should South Korea and U.S. invade North Korea. There's like a border to keep refugees from flooding into China.
Right, and that's actually more or less what's happening on the Russian border, where they've been deploying troops to that border as well.
Oh yeah, the whole area is a fucking hot mess right now. It's
Right, dude. Russia's even fucking. They've been doing a lot of shit in the Dead Sea there, where they've been trying to get, or the Baltic, right there, the Baltic.
Black Sea.
Black, not the Dead Sea. Yeah, you meant what I knew. So they've been putting up a lot of fucking fight right through there with our troops that are out there. Our troops, but our
Yeah, they've been posturing. They've been posturing quite a bit, flying dangerously close to our airspace in Alaska, up in the Bering Strait area. But I mean, that's kind of been put on the side with. I mean, you haven't really heard much about that. The Russian pilots flying, within 10 miles of our airspace, control airspace,
Right.
restricted airspace. They're not doing that much more. But yeah, it's all posturing.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
we're right back where we were in the 60s, 70s, 80s. It's who's got the bigger stick.
And should something happen, I'm fucked, guys. I'm like 10 miles away from NORAD, so I'm fucking. Yeah,
I don't know, man. I imagine we've got some pretty fucking secret squirrel shit there that would have you guys pretty squared away.
yeah. But yeah,
I'm
you
outside
guys
of Bragg.
inside the mountain.
Dude, I'm a Campbell. I just got to worry about the drunks.
All right.
There you go.
I'm outside of the largest rapid deployment station that the U.S. Army has. I'm fucked. Right. So
Should be a fun time.
This article continues on. They're saying that early analysis of the test on Friday cannot determine how heavy a payload the missile was carrying in its warhead. The heavier the payload, obviously, the shorter the range. South Korea's Joint Chief of Staff said that they estimate the missile tested Friday is more advanced than the one launched earlier this month based on the range it traveled. Experts said that the test showed Pyongyang had the ability to hit the last one. Showed that Pyongyang had the ability to hit Alaska. They were saying that even they're based on preliminary results that this one may have even been able to hit New York. So I mean that's pretty legit.
We've been standing around with our fucking hands on our waist and our thumbs in our asses, shaking a finger in condemnation while they've been proven. Now what are we gonna do?
Right, and outside of our military, community, who knows how to respond to a nuclear blast?
Just log on to Facebook. I'm sure there's like 300 billion subject matter experts on Facebook.
Oh, don't bring up Facebook.
With about 250 billion different, I mean,
trillions.
You know which way to lay for the blast, and it's. Dude, I mean, it's kind of eerie just how complacent we as a nation have gotten. We're the only remaining military superpower in the world. Now, granted, China and Russia are building up, but when it comes to
fucking strong.
But dollar for dollar and force for force, we're the only remaining superpower. We've got more equipment. We've got, we may not have the manpower, but we've got more equipment to be able to annihilate their manpower. Is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that we would outright win. That there's a lot of shit that could happen and go wrong, but the United States is sitting pretty fucking well with our military. But where are we with our defense? That's what's fucking eerie.
We don't get attacked often, so.
I mean, the only thing really defense-wise, I can't even think of anything other than freaking Red Dawn is the most viable example of hit the middle and split the coasts. Because you can't hit a coast and you're screwed.
Yeah.
That's what we're all based around.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. Yeah, they're saying right now, quoted saying, threatening the world, these weapons and tests further isolate North Korea, weaken its economy, and deprive its people. Trump said in a written statement, the United States will take all necessary steps to ensure the security of the American homeland and protect our allies in the region. That's a canned response.
That's been the default response for the last 4 launches.
Right.
They've said, I can't tell you how many times they've said this, the period of strategic patience is over.
Right, but here's the thing. We've drawn that proverbial line in the sand how many times? How many times are we going to move it back before, we're not a threat. We're not.
Until one of them goes over Japan and fucking into San Francisco Bay. That's whenever we'll stop fucking moving the goal line.
Right. Kim calls the weapons program, quote, precious asset. The North Korea state-run Korean Central News Agency said Saturday that the latest missile launch was, however you pronounce it,
Hwasong 14.
Hwasong 14. The same missile tested earlier this month. Friday's test was designed to show the Hwasong 14's maximum range with a, quote, large-sized, heavy nuclear warhead, it said, adding that Washington should regard the launch as a grave warning. DPRK states media was quick to tout the missile test as a success, with videos and stills showing leader Kim Jong-un overseeing the launch and celebrating with the troops involved. North Koreans hailed the test firing, the news agency said. Kim Yu-chol, a researcher at the State Academy of Sciences, called the achievement, quote, another great victory, which dealt a heavy blow to the U.S. imperialist and his vassal forces. They're saying that the future of their country is bright now that they have this, quote, powerful sword for keeping peace. But that's a fucking double-edged sword, man.
Yeah, it really is.
If you think about it, Seoul is what? Seoul, South Korea is what? 35 miles from the border, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It is a double-edged sword because they get the nuke. Great, they have it, outstanding. Not in a fantastic sense, but in an oh shit sense. And then, what are we going to do? It's 35. We got 35 miles from the major city of South Korea, North Korea. If we want to launch something, they can launch something right back, be it on the ground or in the air. It's
and Seoul's population
screwed up.
Millions.
Right? I mean, they wouldn't be able to retaliate. South Korea would not be able to retaliate immediately. We've only got. We don't have the level of troops at the DMZ to support an all-out war.
No, nowhere near.
That is a defensive force that runs a QRF up and down the fucking DMZ. How are we going to be able to support? If they launch a coordinated attack with air, missile, and ground, South Korea's got stands a pretty good chance of becoming the United Nation of Korea.
Yeah.
But someone's going to have to make a move.
Yeah, I'm more concerned about our guys over there.
Well, I mean, that's my concern. I mean, those troops that are at the border, that South Koreans have their people there, but we've got a bunch of troops in artillery
range
at the DMZ, and we've got them outside Seoul, and then we've got them in the further southern portions of South Korea. They're at a pretty fucking high alert. I'd imagine they're at some pretty high fucking alert.
Oh, no doubt.
No doubt for everyone.
Like layouts at 4:00 in the morning in the pouring rain, shit like that.
Words. All right, so KJ, man, dude, your shirt's catching my eye, man. It says this guy. What's under there? This guy what?
This guy.
Loves America.
Loves America. Fuck yes.
There we go.
There it is, man. I'm proud to have this motherfucker on the show.
Got like 30 of these.
Fuck yeah. So North Korea is doing that bullshit, and then along with the new sanctions that the U.S. decided to impose on North Korea based on all the nuclear tests that they're running, we hit Russia pretty hard with some sanctions. And what did Russia do? Russia said, "Fuck you, America! I'm gonna poke you in the motherfucking eye." They're kicking almost 800 fucking U.S. diplomats out of Russia and reclaiming some of the embassy buildings.
Yeah.
So, as President Donald Trump prepares to sign the Russia sanctions legislation, which easily cleared Congress last week, Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Rybakov threatened further retaliation against the U.S. Sunday morning. If the U.S. side decides to move further towards further deterioration, we will answer. We will respond in kind. He said on ABC's This Week, "We will mirror this. We will retaliate. But my whole point is, don't do this. It is in the detriment of the interests of the U.S." A request to the White House for comment was not immediately returned. The White House announced Friday night that Trump reviewed the final version of the Russian sanctions legislation and plans to sign it. The bill gives Congress new powers to block Trump from easing sanctions against Moscow. The Russian diplomat's comments come after Russia demanded Friday that the United States cut its diplomatic staff in Russia and said it would seize 2 U.S. diplomatic properties in a sharp response to the new sanctions bill.
That's the exact same thing we did.
Right? Yeah. Yes, but we only ejected what it was like 35,
35, something like that. But we also took two of their business or two of their their consulate buildings.
Right.
God
So,
knows how many military attaches and all those other sort of people that are spooks but not spooks.
right. Yeah.
And now they're doing the same. Politics.
800 of them.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, and the Russians are going are quoted saying, "I think this retaliation is long overdue." After the Senate the day before yesterday voted, or rather on the 27th of July voted so overwhelmingly on a completely weird and unacceptable piece of legislation, it was the last drop.
Yeah.
And, our relations with Russia are deteriorating very quickly.
I'm
No doubt.
curious. I'm curious what the additional options available for further measures against American interests are, because what you kick out people, and what are they going to do? Impose sanctions against us?
Maybe
I mean,
on some of our banks, like we do with Russians.
Financial interests.
We've got the chips.
Oh yeah, we've got more than enough bargaining power for them. But I mean, they have to do something. You got to think about that.
Also, look at this though. So some of the sanctions that we imposed, a lot of Europe was against it. A lot of the European Union was against the sanctions initially because they didn't want us to sanction their interest in the nation. So Russia is kind of they're rebuilding. They're in that phase of reconstruction after the Cold War and all the sanctions and everything that really hit them hard, right?
Yeah.
But they're finally to a point where they can poke the bear and be able to stand their own for a little bit after doing so. And if they decide to cut off all this shit that we've got foreign interests. We've got the American interests out there. You've got the lumber industry that Russia is very heavily involved in our western coast.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of trade that we do with them. All the shit that's going downhill right now, and it's really disturbing.
Yeah. But what are we gonna do?
Well, I can't do shit.
Yeah. I mean, he wants Vladimir Putin wants the USSR to exist again. I don't know if he wants the USSR to exist, because he knows that whenever the USSR existed, he wants it back to be a communist nation. Yes, I don't think he wants it back to what the USSR was, though. He's trying to go get the fucking power. He's got fucking influence with the annexation of Crimea, the invasion of Ukraine. I mean, he's trying to get all of these fucking states back together. The Baltic states. Right. That's his goal. I mean, it's not too hard to believe that he's former KGB. He fucking wants to restore Russia to its former glory.
And that former glory was
a terrible place.
Our biggest enemy again.
Yep.
It's Cold War 2.0.
It really is.
Right.
This time with hacking and drones.
Right. And that's just how much fake news. So we have the CNN to thank for a lot of fake news, but
yeah, fuck CNN.
But Russia has an entire branch of their military devoted to fake news and propaganda, and pawning it off as legitimate news.
Yeah.
So
it's state-run media. I mean, that's
it really is.
Right, but
by definition.
But their intent is to flood the World Wide Web with fake news about Mother Russia and about their enemies. So what we're reading is really real? You know what I mean? They've got this branch of the military that's out putting this information out and running this shit like this. It's so fucking hard to trust what we're being told and what we're seeing.
Yeah. It really is. You got to take everything with a grain of salt and research,
And that's
maybe not believe everything that Breitbart or Federalist Papers posts or fucking CNN posts. Maybe take it at face value, because 9 times out of 10, if you look left or look right, the truth is like right there in the fucking middle.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is a really unpopular opinion, and this is probably going to get me put on another fucking watch list. But Al Jazeera, outside of their propaganda bullshit, Al Jazeera actually fucking posts some legit fucking news. And some of this shit, I use that as
I mean,
more
it's an American company. It was owned by Al Gore there for the longest time, you know? So, I mean, they do have, just because they're a news interest with fucking squiggly lines and they're fucking graphic, it doesn't mean that they're fucking biased towards Islam, you know?
Right. I mean, they've got some pretty fucking legit news and some stuff that's actually pretty well thought out. And a lot of, I look also to BBC a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I want to see an outside opinion of what's going on in America. Just, when you're forming an opinion, it's best to be pretty well versed on it, right?
Yeah.
So I want to see what the international community is saying about certain topics. And right now with North Korea and everything, and even Russia, the shit that's going on in Russia, Australia has been pretty peeved off about all of this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, half the international community is sitting there looking at us like, hey, fucking do something with North Korea before, they actually nuke someone. And then talking out the other side of their mouth saying, God, fucking America needs to stop being the world's police,
Right.
That's the fucking predicament we're in,
We can't win.
And you can't fucking win for fucking losing, man. Every time we fucking go one step forward, it's like it's two steps back. And whether it be within our country, with social issues that are fucking flaring up one after the fuck other, you put one fucking brush fire out and you got 10 more behind it. Or it's, we finally get shit kind of quiet in our country and then some shit flares up internationally with North Korea, Russia, Iran. Iran had a fucking nuclear, a fucking missile test, what was it, 3 weeks ago?
Yep.
So they had some shit that they're doing too. This is all shit that. I mean, what the fuck is going on? What are we doing here?
We're sitting here and we're trying to figure out what to do in the home front. I mean, America first, and we're not stable here in the country.
Yeah, exactly. We need to fucking focus on ourselves.
I'm an isolationist.
I'm not, but I do think that non-interventionalism is pretty fucking good.
I feel I'm a citizen of the globe as well as the U.S. and it's ridiculous because we're not. If you don't have a stable home, how can you improve things abroad? And it's till we get our shit straight here and we can be that shining beacon of, hey, this is how it's supposed to be done, which it's not going to happen anytime soon. We need to at least have that standard to be born against other people of, okay, you should not at least do this. But in the end, once again, Cold War 2.0, it's all starting over again, and there's nothing really we can do about it except sit back, watch, and put our heads between our knees and kiss our ass goodbye, if it happens.
Yeah.
But we've got so many Americans that don't know to fucking do that. They don't know that if they shelter in place and stay there for a day or two, that once they walk out the door, the environment has taken care of most of the shit that's in the air, and you can at least evacuate at that point. They're going to try to fucking evacuate, boom, and they're going to freak the fuck out and try to evacuate, and that's not the answer. This is concerning that we're not prepared. And at this point, if there was any sort of nuclear holocaust episode or some rogue nation like Iran or North Korea that decided to take a pop shot off at us and fucking and made it, right? If that happened, we're not looking at permanent damage. It's one nuke or it's two nukes. It's not something that's going to destroy our nation. What's going to destroy us, what's going to fuck us up is if we end up going into anarchy.
Yeah, I'm almost more afraid of infrastructure collapse than I am like a nuclear fallout or anything like that. Like,
same.
Running water, shit taking us literally back to the third world country, which is all they'd have to do by detonating a nuke in the atmosphere, and we won't even be able to get near it with a fucking THAAD,
Right.
They fucking blow one up in the atmosphere. It serves as an EMP. Fucking takes out electrical grid.
I remember I remember just after, because I lived in New York just after September 11th. I remember we had that big bad blackout, and my dad he was a mechanic, and he was sitting there teaching us all these things that I thought were useless at the time. We had the blackout, and the first thing I did was look at my watch because I was worried. Oh God, it happened again. And it's shit like that you know, if they send one up in the atmosphere and knock it out, who's going to actually think about, oh God, was that an EMP? Was that a nuke? Was that it? No, you're stuck looking at. People are going to be stuck looking at their phones, wondering what the hell's going on, and we're not going to have a immediate response of any kind anywhere.
And we're going to have
there's going to be a response, but it's not going to be any organized.
I'm talking citizenry. I'm not talking politically.
Well, no, even with us, there's not going to be any organization. No one gets out in their communities anymore, gets involved with their fucking neighbors. You know, we're so distant. Technology's made us so fucking distant, but it's helped our lives so much that it's almost like we're willing to sacrifice that human contact, you know, the human interaction in order to fucking play Candy Crush.
Well, see, and the thing that a huge issue that we're going to have is who has the fucking landline anymore? You know,
I do.
And but now think about it. All right, so those landlines run into an electrical grid now. They're not. You don't have the old school plug and go operators anymore. So how are we going to be able to use anything? Because most landlines now are run through our cable service, right?
Yeah, they're all VoIP.
All right, so who is going to be able to contact anybody outside of their fucking neighbors? Because we're not going to be. I mean, half of us won't be able to drive. Half of us won't be able to drive anywhere because of our fucking cars are so fucking electronic.
Yeah. You know? I think that leading up to it, we're going to know something's going on. We're not going to be totally in the dark, like, what the fuck happened? You know, we're going to have some sort of warning.
There's going to be an alarm said, hey, we're about to lose every...
Yeah, and then tick, 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 little fucking dots.
Right.
But no, I'm almost scared for that shit to happen just because something is going to happen, and it's going to set off panic, and a lot of people are going to die from fucking panic, trying to evacuate, you know?
Yeah.
Because whenever you're trying to save your own life, you don't give a shit about anything else. You know, you don't give a shit. I don't care about your fucking family if I'm trying to save mine, you know?
Right.
But that's how it's going to be. And people if you think that, you know, we've lost our humanity now, wait until like a major fucking crisis happens and something like that.
I'll be the first to tell you, I'm going to have to go straight to the pharmacy and raid to get insulin for my wife. You know, that's going to be, I'm going to, you know, that's.
I got weed. That's all I need. Weed for all that ails me.
I have my medicine. Like, I've got plenty of flour for me. You know, I've got enough stockpile to be able to last me, you know, until I can find somebody else that's got some, right? Mm-hmm. And by that point, you know, I'll be able to barter something, you know?
Yeah.
Here's a kidney. Go ahead and give me some of that loud. Get some of that. You know?
We got testicles. Testicles for sale.
Yeah, I mean, I don't plan on having any more children, so, I mean, shit. I've got the fourth one coming right now.
Well, that's good, man. But no, I think that if something like that happens, it's gonna be. I think the infighting is gonna be worse than any type of external conflict. People scavenging for resources. You call me a prepper if you want. I'm not a fucking prepper. You know, I'm a realist that sees things with the fucking glass half fucking empty half the time.
Right. Well, I make sure that I keep my cabinet stocked with plenty of canned goods. Like, I mean, we've got plenty of canned goods, and I've got a fucking charcoal grill, and I've got all that meat in the fridge. We'll be able to have some pretty good food there for, you know, at least 2 weeks, right? And then after that 2 weeks, I'm gonna be able to. I'm gonna be hunting.
But once the stores are gone, once the stores are picked, you know what they're coming for? They're coming for the fucking families, the individual homes.
Yeah, but see, I'm prepared for that.
Oh, no shit. I know you are, but I'm just saying, that's how society. It's going to be a fucking collapse of our society. I don't think America will ever fucking be the same again.
No,
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, man. You're on the
Yeah,
show too.
I'm a pop culture nerd, and I love everything video games, movies.
Yeah.
Fallout, dude. Look at Fallout.
Yeah.
That's what would happen. Fallout 4 is a perfect example. You see it go off in Boston, and it's just you pop up 200, 300 years later, and oh my fucking god, you have tribal society. You have scrounging for food. You have people that are killing each other over a makeshift, makeshift currency. We'll revert back to what historically biologically we know, which is get food, get water, get safe.
Yeah.
I think we'll look a lot like the 1800s Wild West.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can see that.
except with AR-15s and night tasses.
Mhm. Yeah, but no, I don't think that we would ever rebound from that as a society.
Well, see, there's also the polar opposite of that. The chance that we would rally just like we did with 9/11. There's a chance
we're
that
too
we
divided
rally.
now, man.
I see.
We've done our enemies' jobs for them. You know, our country's so fucking fractured right now. You can't see a good story on television or on the news or on the internet without fucking 1,000 people blowing shit up. You know.
So last night in my city, we had a big soccer game. People from all over the world came out, and there was this dude outside one of the places I drop my clients off at, and guy was so alcohol poisoning like a motherfucker. He was gone. Person to me is like, oh, I got to get him water. I'll take care of him. That is horrifying, by the way. The constant.
Yeah, it really is. See what I have to deal with?
It's I went and got him a bottle of water. I started, doing first aid for alcohol poisoning, and I got violently get away from me, pushed away, thrown away. They thought I was coming to rob them. I'm in a uniform, bright orange shirt. There's no way to mistake me for who I am. I'm sitting there, water, first aid kit, trying to help, and it was get away from me.
Look, kid, I'm trying to help you.
Yeah, these were his sober friends. That's the worst part. These were guys that were soberer than him, and they were trying to throw me around like a rag doll. It was ridiculous. When they finally realized what was going on, it took 30, 45 minutes. Which at that point, the dude, it was past the point of me being able to help, and 911 had to be called, which would have happened anyway. But we're divided as hell in this country, and when in the city I live in Nashville, when foreigners come here, God help you if you seem like anything like the stereotypical American, because it is immediate aggression and what are you doing? Get away from me, especially in a big party city. We got to work on our relationships here, and with all the BLM, Antifa, etc. Get them all at the talking table, find out what's going on, and get on the same damn page.
That's why I voted for Gary Johnson. I thought
There's
four
no way.
years of non-interventionalism would be fucking phenomenal for our nation. We need to fix us before we try to be the police of everyone else. But more people were hung up with him not knowing about Aleppo, which a non-interventionalist would fucking know about Aleppo.
And should.
I'm so glad. Thank you for getting us to the DNC.
Yeah.
No, dude, we were both huge Johnson. We were on that fucking Comet train, man. That was us.
Yeah.
I have the shirt somewhere.
It's a triangle. I had a sign in my front yard. That's as much as I did for him.
Be the motherfucker. But
But good news. Speaking of Johnson, hang on before we go on too far.
Son of a bitch.
They got the required amount of signatures to let third-party candidates on the main debate stage for this next cycle.
Oh hell yeah, dude! That was some fucking.
They got
huge
the mandatory. Yeah, I saw the Facebook Live press conference that he had with Bill Weld after they had reached the 150,000 votes or signatures to allow third-party candidates to be on the main debate stage with the fucking asses and elephants out there,
That's just not. I don't think that's just libertarians. I think
that's all third party. Any third party.
All third party.
Veterans
So Green Party.
The Tea Party, if they fucking felt like it,
I would love to see the Communist Party of America come on stage at one of the debates.
The Antifa Party.
Sitting there listening to the USSR anthem while they walk on. That would give my Russian heritage boner a.
Well, I mean I mean, that's something legit could happen. I mean,
It could.
they could run on their fucking ticket. I mean, I don't know anybody that would fucking vote for them. I mean, I'm sure there's
plenty of communists in America.
But we're going to eventually get so many. We're going to get so many fucking inputs that we're not going to have a viable option. You know what I mean?
I don't think it'll be sensory overload. I think they're going to be realistic, where they have to have a certain amount of the following. It's just now they don't have to poll and win, major states in order to make it to the debate stage.
Right.
I don't think you're going to start seeing 7 or 8 candidates on stage like you did during the Republican primaries. I don't think you're going to see all that. It's going to be more of like a general, where the leading candidates will, maybe if this last election had it, you would have fucking Trump, Clinton, Johnson, and Green, all 4 on the debate stage. Or not Green, Jill Stein, Green Party.
Yeah. Hell yeah. All right, well, guys, we're going to have to go on to a quick little break here. We've got 2 420 songs going on the air now, and we'll be back here in just a little bit.
forced to wait. Nobody said we had to relate. At the end, it's over. I'm finally sober. I'm finally sober. My only demon, my only regret is that I left you with scars so that you'll never forget. Sick of forgiving my mistakes and my faults. Shattered your glass onto millions when I ripped it apart. There's nothing left. Love is gone. So there was a failure to communicate. So set to leave, but we were forced to wait. Nobody said we had to relate. At the end, it's over. I'm finally sober. I'm finally sober.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. You are still listening to The Green Room on WTF Nation Radio. I'm your host, Jason. I'm joined tonight with my buddy and longtime pal, Charlie. Say hi, Charlie.
Hey, Charlie.
Hey, Charlie. And we are joined with a special co-host tonight, our new fresh meat in the grinder, buddy here, KJ. What's going on, buddy? Welcome back.
Oh, glad to be back. Just playing with the fidget spinner.
This motherfucker's been sitting there on a fidget spinner the whole show. And I'm high as fuck, and I've been watching it the whole damn time. But no, I mean, I want to thank you for coming on, man. We're having a good time. I need you to put that the fuck away. Oh man, I'm just fucking with you, dude. I don't care. You gotta listen to me. I'm not even your real dad. Oh shit! I hope I didn't just drop that bomb on you.
No, we'll take it up with Kaz. He owes me back pay child support. Was it to my
That
mom?
word.
Yeah, that's
All right.
KJ. That's Kaz Jr.
Hell yeah. So, guys, we had some. So we were talking about this bullshit government and everything, and you know, right before we were going in, we've got this Attorney General, Sessions. This motherfucker, Jeff Sessions. He's goofy looking as hell. We were talking about that during the break. This guy looks like fucking a mix between Dumbo and Bert.
Looks like a ventriloquist doll, you know, one of the dummies.
Yeah, it does. I see that now.
Really tight-lipped. He's got wrinkles
So-
that make it look like the bottom part of his jaw is removable.
Yeah, I see that. I definitely see it. It
This
looks
guy,
like,
this guy is like a thorn in the fucking side of us, you know.
give me
but-
your Reaper. Give me
Great
your
news.
Reaper.
Great fucking news.
This motherfucker was trying to go after legitimate states, so states that have already legalized cannabis. He was trying to go after them still under federal guise. Well, the Senate Appropriations Committee said no. Senate Appropriations approved an amendment to protect state medical marijuana patients this morning. An article posted on leafly.com saying, delivering a setback to Attorney General Jeff Sessions. In May, Sessions delivered a letter to Congress specifically requesting that leaders reject that budget amendment known as the Rohrabacher-Blumenauer Amendment. The amendment, led by Senator Patrick Leahy of Vermont, passed in a voice vote with strong Republican support. During the hearing, Leahy said this in support of the amendment. 29 states and the District of Columbia have decided it's more humane to regulate medical marijuana than to criminalize it. Almost every state, 46 right now, and counting, regulate the use of marijuana derivative that is used to treat epilepsy and other rare medical conditions.
Talking about CBD.
Right. It says, I think just about every member on this committee represents a state with patients who would be protected under this amendment. The federal government can't investigate everything and shouldn't. And I don't want them spending money pursuing medical marijuana patients who are following state law, whether they're an epileptic or whatever they may be. You know, this is some powerful words coming from Congress.
The thing that got me really fucking happy when I saw this was these words right here: strong Republican support. It passed a voice vote. That means they didn't even have to propose it to the floor. There was just enough yays to pass it, even with overwhelming, Republican support. That's what makes me happy. Finally, some fucking bipartisanship working together for the American people.
Well, man, I've been saying it for the past several shows. I really think that we may finally have some representatives that are standing up and doing the right thing, but they have to do it a different way. So they're going from the bottom up. We're seeing, but we kind of got fucked. So, that's a huge win for Congress right there. But we just got some news here the other day that they're saying, fuck you, veterans. They voted against us being able to have the option to have a VA doctor recommend cannabis.
Yep. Fuck you guys.
I'm going to be that dissenting opinion, and I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I can see legally, the headache here, because you have a situation where a federal organization which has to abide by federal laws prescribing something that is still technically federally illegal.
Well, it's not about prescribing it. They're just recommending it.
Recommending.
Yeah,
recommending. And that could put, if you have a doctor that's employed by this federal institution that recommends it, that they have to abide by the federal laws. I can see the bind that the VA would be in there. And I don't think a lot of doctors are, I don't know. I don't talk to a lot of doctors, but I think the more would support it if they were protected from that federal laws against it as a narcotic.
And you know what? See, that's
Quotations.
that's something we've been looking forward to having on the show is an opinion that's differing some. See, I'm gonna have the counter to what you're saying here, in that.
And I'm gonna sit back and smoke a bowl.
Get it, girl. So we've got the federal government right now saying that doctors have to violate their Hippocratic oath and not allowing them the option to recommend to patients something that is a legitimate form of medicine. There's too much data that's coming out now that we've got independent labs in the states that are legal we're finding so much information about the medical benefits, and tying those doctors' hands to where they cannot even discuss it with a patient. That is immoral.
That is absolutely horrible. I completely agree with you there. But
And that's what's happening. So that's what Congress voted down. The House committee, whenever they blocked that attempt to let VA doctors recommend cannabis, they're blocking those doctors' abilities to follow the Hippocratic Oath to the fullest extent.
I mean, they know that the fucking pills are pawning off on us is so much fucking worse for us than a damn plant that they can't regulate. They know that. And I do know that a lot of the fucking doctors that work for the VA, my neurologist had to give me an unofficial applause whenever I told her I stopped taking the seizure pills and fucking started using medical marijuana for it. And she unofficially and clapped her hands right there. She's like, and it's sad that I have to do that, but federal law dictates. You know, we can't talk about this shit with you guys, but I'm glad that you're talking about it yourself.
But
But at
you
the same
know,
time-
in your VA records now, it has you down for
they know.
for cannabis
Scott,
abuse.
Yeah, well, I mean, shit, I don't take pills, so I'm not concerned about their fucking pain pills.
Right.
But
No, but
that's the
they've
thing,
got you
have to shoot for
diagnosed
one.
with cannabis use syndrome,
It's fucking-
or some
I've been
bullshit like
diagnosed
that.
with worse that they caused.
Right.
So. If anything, this syndrome is keeping the fucking seizures that they fucking gave me at bay, you know?
All right.
that's what matters, dude. You gotta look out for yourself.
It's exactly what matters. I mean, my kids
It
have
comes to
seen me
your
have
health.
seizures. My kids have seen me with a bloody fucking face from faceplant, you know, and busting my fracturing my fucking orbital socket.
Yeah, and see, that's not
It's no
okay. These pills are, and KJ, man, I think that this is something we can agree on, regardless of our stance on cannabis. The pills that are coming from the VA, that they're giving us and telling us to take, that it's safe for us to consume pill A, B, and C along with X, Y, and Z. Whenever X, Y, and Z combined with pill B all together, though, it provides
It gives you AIDS.
Yeah,
isolation or some shit.
Gives you AIDS.
It gives you AIDS. Herpes
Yeah,
simplex AIDS.
I love slowing down the ends of those drug commercials. I'm like, oh, that's wonderful. For my erectile dysfunction, I could have a heart attack. Outstanding.
I went and
You
had
know, I want for my left testicle to turn bright purple after I take this little blue pill. That's exactly what I want.
sarcasm.
I mean,
I'm high, but I can still pick up sarcasm audibly. Not,
I mean that'd be pretty cool at like Burning Man or something. You just pull out a purple testicle.
It really would be
that
pretty
was,
fucking
we
badass,
call that a Tuesday in infantry barracks.
right?
Yeah.
Purple
I
testicle
don't know.
Tuesday. It's
But,
usually after Barracks Rat Friday.
For me, dude, I was so fucked up with you've heard of Malefiquin, right? Mefequin,
Mhm.
the anti-malaria med.
Yeah.
Well, myself and it was 6 other guys in my unit besides me came down with severe different neurological disorders. 3 of us have epilepsy. Someone else has MS or something that mimics MS, and a couple others are fucking neurological diseases that I've never fucking heard of. 3 years after we stopped taking them, the FDA black boxed it. So I mean, they gave me fucking seizures, and I can't even decide if I want to fucking smoke weed or not. If Sessions had his way, fuck that guy.
No, that's bullshit.
I was taking 14 different prescriptions when I got out. I'm taking 1 prescription plus weed, and the prescription's for blood pressure.
So that's kind of our take on it, because he was on one set of type of pills, benzos. He got hit on benzos pretty hard. Me, on the other hand,
Diazepam. They're good muscle
No.
relaxants to keep you from fucking having the convulsions and shit. I have like a shitty fucking tolerance with pain pills.
I was taking 40 milligrams a day of diazepam because it was I was prescribed 5 milligrams a day, 4 times a day for muscle spasms, and I was prescribed another 5 milligrams 4 times a day for my anxiety. That was
Did you ever
associated
get
with
to use one of those
PTSD.
diazepam auto injectors?
No.
I had
Oh,
to
man.
mid
I'm
seizure.
so jealous.
Ooh.
No, fuck no, dude. I pissed myself.
I'm not. Oh, it got you like that, huh?
Well, yeah, I mean, I was having a seizure. You know, not
So it
really able to
relaxes all the
control.
muscles.
Yeah, you're not really able to control things when you're having a seizure. I mean, I've never had an accident while just having a seizure, but whenever
Oh, no.
whenever I was hit with that diazepam, yeah, I fucking pissed myself.
Oh, damn, dude.
That auto injector
that's not fun.
one of the auto injectors that they give you fucking for NBC, you know that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a 12
Hell
pack
yeah.
of those
Damn.
for some
Yep.
fucking. Because I guess I could give it to myself if I was having a seizure. I don't know. My wife hit me with the one at the time that I fucking pissed myself.
Damn. That's nuts, man.
But
See,
hey,
me on
you
the
know,
other hand,
it sucks.
me on the other hand, that was all of the benzos that I had to deal with, but they had me on top of all that shit. They had me on fucking hardcore opiates. I mean, every
Percodan.
doctor that I've talked to since, every doctor I've talked to since said I should have been dead. You know, I shouldn't have been able to breathe.
Half the time,
my
I wonder if
respiratory-
that's the VA's goal.
Oh, right. But see, so it was probably, I guess it was 2 years ago now. I had a pistol in my hand, and I had taken all of my pills, and I was in a fucking fog. And it was right around the anniversary of when I had to bury one of my soldiers, and I was thinking about Corporal Ashley, and I about took my life, and that was what changed my mind. The next morning, I flushed my pills. I went to my dude, got some grapefruit Kush, and some OG Kush.
Never
And
went back.
I haven't looked back. I've taken a handful of pain pills after a surgery, and a couple of times since where I've been really, really bad, and the cannabis didn't hit it.
Not a handful at once, like a handful
No.
total.
See, I haven't been able to smoke for a couple of years, which sucks. 'Cause I do miss it, but I remember after going through some surgeries, they gave me OxyContin, and I was back in high school. Me and my brother were fucking notorious. Oh, hey, $50 a pill, $50 a pill, $50 a pill, and
Right.
fucking, you know, I when they handed me that, I was sitting there like, and because of reasons legally and employment wise, I was too not going to go running after what I know would
Yeah.
work, which was, you know, the bud.
Well, how sad is that?
It's one of those things. It's like you know, you want to feel good, you want to feel better, and you can't. I feel that.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's the thing, and I'm in a state that's not legal. I mean, I am in full defiance of the law, and I hate to put it that way, and I hope that I don't ever get, you know, caught up for it. But you know, this is what's kept me alive. So if they have to put me in jail, you know, I don't know what the fuck will happen, but I won't be able to use any cannabis. But whenever I get out, I will go back to cannabis. I'm not going to go back on pills. Like it
I didn't
almost
like
feels-
who I was on pills.
Yeah, and
My
you know,
marriage suffered. My parenting suffered. You know, I sucked as a dad for my kids in Hawaii because I was a fucking zombie.
definitely. I got a divorce, lost a house, lost my wife, my ex-wife. I lost, you know, being able to see my children every day. You know, it fucked my life up.
Yeah.
I feel.
I mean, that's what the pills do, man. I mean, you get on these stronger fucking concentrations, these non-formulary fucking prescriptions, 20 fucking milligrams of oxy to fucking 300 milligrams of Tylenol, shit like that. And then they pull it out from underneath you. Like, what the fuck do they expect you to do? You know?
We created our own epidemic of pills. Did
We
you?
really did.
We did.
I mean,
Well,
there's
they
a.
just
After you.
no, go ahead, man. I mean, shit, I was about to interrupt you. Fuck.
No, you first. You first. Your show.
Oh, shit, nah, man. This is our show. This is the dream, man. This is WTF Nation Radio.
This is an open forum.
Bruh.
I just happen to have one. I just happen to be one of the names on the billboard. You know what I mean?
And I'm the
Yeah.
talent.
No, I was gonna point out, like, we're talking about the pills and the epidemic, how they fuck us up.
Mhm.
Dude in Indiana, I'll actually read it straight out. Indiana man kills a doctor refused to prescribe the wife opioids. Now, this is an epidemic going on since the freaking 80s.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know how they could write any plainer, but an Indiana doctor would not prescribe opioids to a female patient, was shot and killed Wednesday by the woman's husband, who later killed himself. So it's a murder-suicide.
Shit.
Dr. Todd Graham was shot by this guy Michael of St. Joseph County in Indiana. Prosecutor Ken Cotter tells the reporters, and it took place inside the St. Joseph Rehabilitation Institute, which is near where Dr. Graham worked at South Bend Orthopedics. That is just, we've created this epidemic, and I loved it. I loved reading about this and studying it.
You don't love living it, though.
No, OxyContin, which I hate them. I fucking hate them. In the 80s, released a fucking, for merchandise, a swing album.
Right.
A fucking swing album. When you have medication, pill companies like that, like OxyContin, that can release swing albums and cute plushies and all that shit, you're perpetrating something that you know could really fuck someone up.
Absolutely.
Opioids are dangerous, and the worst part is you get put on them, right? Like you guys have both been on some form of opiate, OxyContin, hydrocodone,
Yep.
methadone.
That's all I could do.
We
was
were in the military.
because I was fucking. I had a weak fucking.
I know.
So I had some Norco.
Yeah, fucking, they put you on it. They get you on it. You're stuck on it for what, 3 months, roughly, sometimes even less, even more. Take you off.
Something like that.
What else is an opioid that is illegal? Oh, that's right, fucking heroin.
That
know we have
shit with fentanyl.
Yeah, and fentanyl.
carfentanil.
And all this
Carfentanil,
fucking
shit
shit.
that
It's
touches you and you fucking overdose on it. It could be absorbed into your fucking skin. And these guys are, putting paramedics' lives in danger. I think I was reading about it a couple of days ago. They're not paramedics; they were cops. And there was a person who went down of a suspected overdose, and the cops ran over and began, using fucking CPR. And they got some of the solution on their hand. They tried to detox it, but both of the officers got fucking sick and had to be hospitalized.
Dude,
The
I mean,
shit
it's a
touches your
hazard.
skin. It fucking, imagine little parents are sitting there fucking. I can't tell you how many times my little kids, my daughters, get into shit that doesn't belong to them. Whether it be looking for candy, looking for a fucking toy. They'll open a drawer. I keep all my shit out in the garage, so they don't mess with the tools in the car, and the weed is in the garage. So there you
What's
go,
in this
robbers.
spoon?
Yeah, but if you have people that are fucking sitting there doing heroin, and they're doing some of this carfentanil, and they fucking pass out, and it's sitting there on the table, a little kid walks up and just touches it. He's
Of course
dead.
it's gonna happen.
He's fucking
Yeah.
dead.
All because of
Carelessness.
that.
All because you wanted to fucking get high.
And meanwhile, a simple little plant, God help you, and the creek don't rise. My state, you have it, and you're going to jail.
For fucking what?
It's-
Mandatory
Obviously.
what? 3 years? Over an ounce is a mandatory 3 years?
Right?
Yes. Yeah,
Something like
3
that.
years. I'd think about that. Yeah.
Mandatory, that's a minimum.
And
Mandatory
what are
minimums.
the side effects? As Cat Williams so eloquently put it, happy, hungry, sleepy. Those are
Yeah.
your fucking side effects of this shit. But you
It-
can take a whole
it's
fucking
disgusting.
bottle of aspirin and kill yourself.
It's insane to me that a fucking plant, and it goes back to the whole reason why. Why is it fucking illegal? Because it's not as profitable as Big Pharma, or they haven't determined it's as profitable as Big Pharma, big alcohol, big tobacco. But also, it's.
Well, I think
It's-
they're just. I think that it's starting. We're definitely starting to see a turnaround.
Oh yeah,
But
we're down
but it's not
20%.
necessarily-
20%
It's not-
opioid overdoses in Colorado.
Well, see, I'm not even talking. I'm going into the cannabis. We're seeing a turnaround in that, but I don't think we're going to end up liking the turnaround that we see because we've got Bayer and Monsanto that are
Yeah.
going in together, and and right around the time the cannabis industry is starting to get traction. I mean, come on,
After they spent how much money trying to fucking stop the legalization effort?
right?
Maybe they were
So
pending
they could-
permits for Bayer and Monsanto for the merger.
Right? They couldn't stop it, so can't beat them, join them, right?
Yeah, we're gonna have weed fucking everywhere. It's gonna be and whenever they mass produce it like that shit, dude, the quality's gonna suck.
Well, I'll still go to the small town.
They'll probably make it illegal to fucking grow. You gotta have a tax stamp to buy something like that.
You guys ever seen the
how cynical I am? It's a fucking shame, but
no? Have you seen the College Humor? I love them sometimes. The old shit.
Mhm.
You ever seen their why weed shouldn't be legalized?
Mhm.
It was completely funny. It's like you're gonna lose that. I mean, just they had a Starbucks line. It's like, oh, we got some Cali Kush and some sour diesel, and that'll come out to brings it up, and it's $850. Yeah, that's what I can look forward to when you start bringing major corporations into legal marijuana and the hardcore corporate regulation. There's going to have to
end up seeing GMO weed. And
What's up?
GMO.
I think we're going to see GMO weed, and I think that it's going to be
Why does
I think
this
it's
why does
gonna
this
be
plant have eyes?
right. But I think we're going to find
Smokey.
Tally.
Like Mr.
We'll see
Hanky.
Tally.
Howdy ho.
I like Tally better.
Yeah.
But
no.
we're gonna see this GMO weed that's coming out, and it's gonna be. I think it's going to be affordable, but I don't think that it's going to be the same quality that we're seeing. So
No, it won't.
the mass produced stuff that we're going to find in your major outlets.
You're gonna have different brands. You're gonna find it at Walmart. You'll have great value fucking sour diesel.
Right. So those are going to be the ones that you probably want to stay away from. But I think we're still going to find places like your Stone Brewery, or I guess Stone is a bad example because they've gone pretty wide. But Russian River Brewery and stuff like places like that. The microbreweries where you're going to still be able to find these micro grows, if you will, of quality stuff. So I think we'll still be okay.
Yeah, you're gonna have to pay out the ass for that tax and permit to get that shit built, or to get your own grow going.
But there are people that are going to want to do that. I mean,
Yeah.
look at Cigar City Brewing down Tampa Bay. Love them to death. They
Cigar
pay
City.
out the ass so that they can have their own brewery
Yep.
down in Tampa, and they make some
Are you anywhere
amazing beer.
down there?
What,
What's that?
I need somebody to send me some High Life.
bro? I got you.
Miller,
Uh,
High Life,
No, High Alive.
the champagne of beer.
This is like the best fucking IPA ever.
dude. I'll get you. I got you back, man. I got you back.
Oh man, I'm gonna hit you up with my
You're in
address.
Florida?
I'm in Nashville, but I'm
Oh, that's
constantly
right.
going back and forth to Florida because my kid's there.
Gotcha.
Oh, dude, you'll
I
be
was
able to
just down in
travel with
Florida.
it.
I was just down in Florida for a little while. Yeah, it's not weed. You can travel with it.
Right?
I usually stock up on my favorite Florida things for coming back to the country music capital of the country. Fucking shoot me.
Hell yeah, man. But dude,
What's
if
good
you're
about Florida?
ever down there and you're thinking about Jason, man, I would love some fucking High Life. Like
I'll write
all
that
of
shit
them.
down.
All of them. I'll take
I'm
all
writing
of
it
them.
down right now on my
Shit.
notepad.
This is fucking awesome, guys. I just got the fucking hookup. And if you don't know what High Life is,
It's a sport.
Google. It's Googleizer. No, it's HAI-ALAI. High Life, and it's some good shit.
Sounds like a Hawaiian brewery.
But it's Cigar City. It comes from Miami. You wouldn't expect a good beer like that coming out of South Florida, but it
Well,
fucking
it
rocks.
comes out of Tampa Bay, bro. It comes right out of Spruce Street
Or
off of Tampa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to go there all the time, and just when I turned 21, got blitzed.
Tampa. Shit, the only time I've been to Tampa is I went and watched the Red Sox play the fucking Rays down there, Tropicana Field.
Hell yeah. Did you hit Ybor City up?
No, like I had my daughter with me, so I didn't do anything
No,
other than take her to the game and come back. I got to do one of those salute to services when I was stationed in at Fort Stewart,
Right on.
so it's pretty cool. I got to do that for the Pro Bowl in Hawaii too. It was pretty
Fuck
awesome.
yeah. I got to throw the first pitch at a Padres game.
Sweet.
Fuck yeah.
That was pretty fucking fun. That was after I was working for Northrop Grumman. They sponsored the Military Appreciation Day at the field, so we got to go down and have breakfast on the field with 2 or 3 of the players. They'd come down